Okay, so good morning, teacher and everyone. May I know if I'm audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so before anyone else, may I ask everyone if how's your day today?
We're good, sir.
We're good,
Okay,
sir.
it's nice to hear that.
Fine.
So before we start, let us pray first. Let be the God always the priority before the day start. So, okay, class, please open your camera, close your eyes, and feel the presence of the Lord. Principal Miranda, can you please lead the prayer? Okay, Principal Miranda, you should lead the prayer.
Yes, sir.
So, we are experiencing technical issues. So, may I fix it first? Okay, lead the prayer, Mr. Miranda.
Let's go for the presence of our Father who has created all in all, Lord of the Abraham, Isaiah, and Jacob, our provider, the only God that gives us strength and wisdom, the creator of heaven and earth. Lord, thank you for everything you've done for us. Thank you for providing all our needs. Sorry for what we have done wrong. Forgive us, Lord Jesus, to all our sins. Lord, let me give wisdom and strength to all our trials. Lord, guide us in all times. Be our
Okay, in this
future
name we pray.
and always safe. Thank you, Lord. This is our prayer in the name of Lord Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Miranda. You may now mute your microphone. So, Mr. Secretary, okay, are you already check the attendance? Mr. Secretary, Raymond Ferrer, you
Yes,
already
sir.
check that? Okay, who is absent for today?
Sir, there are no absent for today, sir.
Okay, very good. So we are all present for today. So very good, class. So next, okay, class. Let me remind you those rules and regulations during the ongoing meeting of online class discussion. So number one. So kindly please read. Anyone? Yes, Mr. Grau.
Leave the keyboard alone. Dress
Uh,
appropriately. Be aware of your surrounding. Mute your microphone when you are not talking. Unmute your microphone if your teacher allows you to speak. No food policy during online class and stay seated and stay present.
okay. So are we clear for that, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So
Yes, sir.
next. So next, if I'm not mistaken, I am not giving you an assignment, but I asked you to review our previous lesson, right?
Yes, sir.
So guys,
Sir.
who can still
Yes,
remember
sir.
our previous lesson? Yes, Mr. Fernandez. Do you still remember our past lesson?
Sir, it's all about electrical tools and equipment.
Okay, okay. It is all about another answer. Again, what is our previous topic? Yes, Mr. Malikdem.
Our previous topic here is all about Ohm's law, sir.
Okay, so very good. It is all about Ohm's law. So what is Ohm's law again? One
Sir,
of the class.
Ohm's law is the relationship
Okay.
between current, voltage, and resistance, sir.
Okay. Very well said. So Ohm's law is the relationship between current, voltage, and resistance. So another question. What is the use of Ohm's law in the field of electricity? Anyone of the class? Yes, Mr. Ramasanta.
Sir, repeat question, sir. Medyo choppy po.
Okay. What is the use of Ohm's law in the field of electricity?
Okay, sir. So, we use Ohm's law to get the voltage, resistance, and current of a circuit.
Okay, very good. Absolutely correct. So next, who discovered Ohm's law? Anyone of the class? Yes, Mr. Tirao, who discovered Ohm's law?
Sir George Simon.
Okay, very good. So George Simon Ohm discovered Ohm's law formula. So um, it seems like that you are studying well our lesson at your home. So let's give yourself a big round of applause. So next, okay, class, we have follow-up questions that is related about our topic for today. So okay, first, for the follow-up question, give an example of test instruments used in measure to measure the voltage, current, and resistance. Anyone of the class? Yes, Mr. Ferrer or Mr. Romasanta?
Sir, example instrument measure. Sir, multi-tester, sir.
Okay, very good. Absolutely correct. It is a multimeter. So you may unmute your microphone. Okay, for the last question. In actual scenario, how is it Ohm's law related on test instrument used in electricity in the field of electrical? Anyone of the class? Yes, Mr. Tirao. Or other hand, yes, Mr. Malikdem. Can you please answer what is the last question?
Sir, in actual scenario, sir, also is related to, I related on test instrument used in electrical in the field of electricity in the field of electrical. For example, sir, we need to get the actual voltage of a house, sir. We are using multi-tester, sir.
Okay, very good. So, or because by the use of test instrument, you can measure the voltage, ampere, and resistance of a certain load, and by that, you can now apply the Ohm's law formula to get what is needed unit in a problem. Is it clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, next. So now we will be having an activity entitled "The Truth Will Set You Free." Are you excited, class?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
For the instruction, this is the instruction. So, mhm. This is an individual activity. The teacher already set up an online game which the students are needed to access. Therefore, the teacher provides the link as well as the code for the student to have access to the game that is already prepared by the teacher. So, for the mechanics, as this is the mechanics, guys. So, pick true if the statement is or clue do you think are correct or possible, and pick false if the statement or clue do you think is incorrect or impossible. The game is consisting of 30 seconds per question to be answered. The top two student that has a high score will given a plus points to their quizzes. Is it clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes, sir.
next. Okay. So this is the instruction before the game. Okay. Read what is in the monitor. Okay, so we have experiencing technical issues. So can you please read what is in the monitor? Okay, everyone. Okay, yes, Mr. Fair.
Please
Mr.
log
Fair.
in on a Kahoot game. The step on how to access is already flashed on the monitor. First, search Kahoot.it. Second, log in with the game pin. Third, put your name as a player. And four, that it, you can now play the game. The player should look at the monitor to see the questions and select your answer to your own device.
Okay, are we clear? Are we clear with that? Is it our instruction is
Yes,
clear?
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you already logged in into the game? Okay, let's play. May I share first my screen? So, okay, so do you see my screen, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So,
sir.
okay, so Start the game. Any please answer. 3, 2, 1. Okay. Salt water is a great conductor. Is it true or false? Answer to your phone. Okay, you have 4 seconds left. Okay, very good. So let me see the scoreboard. Okay, very good. So next question. An ammeter is used to measure the voltage. Is it true or false? You have 20 seconds to answer. Okay, so next. Who got the correct answer? Okay, Christian is the high score. So next question. So a human body has a resistance. Anyone? You have 20 minutes to 20 seconds to answer. Okay. What is it true? Okay, so Christian is leading. Okay, next. A voltmeter is used to measure the current. Can you please answer? Okay, the answer is false. So next, what? Let me see the scoreboard. Okay, Christian is still the high score. So next, a carbon brush is considered as a conductor. Anyone? Okay. You have 15 seconds to answer. Okay, the answer is true. So next, let me see the scoring board. Christian is still the high score. Okay, a multimeter tester is used to measure the voltage, resistance, and ampere. Okay, you have 15 seconds left. Okay, is it true? So let me see the scoring board. Okay, next. It is possible for a human body to produce electricity. Okay. Okay, it is false. Next, let me see the scoring board. Christian is still the leading. Okay, next. Nikola Tesla discovered direct current. Okay, is it false? Because Nikola Tesla discovered the AC current. So next, let me see the scoring board. Okay, Christian is still the highest score. Okay, for the ninth question. Thomas Edison discovered alternating current. Is it true or false? Okay, is it false? So because Nikola Tesla discovered alternating current. So let me see the scoreboard. Okay, Christian has the highest score. Next, for the last question. True or false? Love can produce spark. Do you think that love can produce spark? You have 15 seconds to answer. Is it love can produce spark? Okay, it is false. Okay. So we've done. The truth will set you free. So let me stop sharing for this. So we were having a technical issues. Let me fix it first. Okay, guys. So this is one of the biggest trials that we always encounter in online class discussion, right? So let me share my screen first again. Okay, I guess I need a volunteer from the class to make a sample while waiting for our PowerPoint presentation. Anyone from the class who wants to volunteer?
Sir, Christian, sir.
Hi, Christian. Kindly, do you have any jokes while are we waiting for our slides?
Sir, anong tawag po sa maliit na pusit, sir?
Anong tawag doon?
Pag malaking pusit, sir, pusit. Pag
Pag
maliit,
maliit. Oh, okay, Have. So, any other jokes or do you have any pickup lines? Any please volunteer while waiting for our PowerPoint.
Argel, sir.
Okay, Argel, do you have any jokes or pickup lines? The monitor is yours.
Anong pangalan ng walang jowa? Argel, sir.
Is that true, Argel? You have no jowa daw, sabi nila. Okay, so,
sir, anong tawag sa vampirang mahirap, sir?
vampirang mahirap. So, anong tawag doon?
Bam na lang, sir, kasi wala na siyang pira.
Ah, ayos ah. Okay, so, I guess we should continue our discussion. Thank you, Mr. Christian, for entertaining us. So, let me share my slides. So, okay. So, do you enjoy the game, guys?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
so next. Thank you for entertaining us, Mr. Malikdam. We will now proceed to our next discussion. So, okay, a random student should share their knowledge about test instruments. So, anyone of the class who can share about their knowledge and about these pictures? Anyone of the class? Yes, Mr. Fernandez. Tell me your opinion and knowledge about the picture.
It is used to measure electrical parameters, sir.
Okay, very good. Mr. Fernandez, can you please give him a virtual round of applause? Okay, next. Uh, Mr. Malikdem,
Yes,
tell me
sir.
your opinion and knowledge about the picture.
Sir, the similarity, sir, of the digital and analog multimeters or multitester is they can what they call compute the actual or specific voltage and resistance and current, sir.
Okay, very good. Brilliant, Mr. Malikdem. Very well said. Let's give him also a big virtual round of applause. So, I think you have an idea of what we are going to discuss for today. Okay, class. So, anyone of the class who has an idea about our topic for today? Yes, Mr. Romasanta. Do you have any idea about our
Sir,
topic for today?
I think it's all about measuring instruments in electrical.
Okay, very good. Or different types of test instruments and their uses with safety precautions. So next. Okay, our next. Our topic is the different types of test instruments and their uses with safety precaution. So can you please read anyone from the class? Yes, Mr. Tirao, types of test instruments.
Voltmeter. Mesh- Voltmeter instruments that measures voltage of either direct or alternating electric current on a scale usually graduated in volts, millivolts, or kilovolts. Many voltmeter are digital, giving readings as numerical displays. The instrument just described can also provide reading in analog form by moving a pointer that indicates voltage on a scale. A
Okay,
digital
Stop, Mr.
can
Thank you for
high
reading, Mr. Tirao.
accuracy than analog instruments. For
Okay,
example, a
you should continue.
likely to employ an electromechanical mechanism in which current flowing through turns of wire is translated into a reading of voltage.
Okay, very good, Mr. Tirao. You may now mute your microphone. So for the clarification, guys, Voltmeter is usually indicate on motor control system, on which indicate the total voltage output of a certain load. It is very important to have the device, especially if we don't have a technician, or because by the use of this device, we can easily find out if your load has an unbalanced voltage or low voltage. Meaning to say, if this is happen, there is a discrepancy or problem to our load, such as induction motor or water pump. Is it clear, class? Class, are you still
Yes,
here?
sir.
Okay, thank you for responding, Mr. Masanta. Then next, can you please read? Yes, Mr. Masanta.
Ohmmeter measures resistance. Ohmmeter instrument for measuring electrical resistance, which is expressed in ohms. In the simplest ohmmeters, the resistance to be measured may be connected to the instrument in parallel or in series. If in parallel ohmmeter, the instrument will draw more current as resistance increases. If in
Okay,
series,
Mr. Masanta, thank you for your reading.
yes,
Stop.
sir.
So, for the clarification, ohmmeter is used to find the resistance of a certain load. Mostly, the technician called it is a meter tester or insulation tester. This is very useful as a technician, especially if you are a rewinder or an aircon technician. So, because in outside troubleshooting, you can find out if a certain motor is grounded or have weak insulation. And for additional information, Mega tester is usually used by the rewinder. So, is it clear, class? Are you clear for that?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for
Yes,
responding,
sir.
Mr. Miss Gonzalez and Mr. Fernandez. Next, we have. Okay, can you please read what is in the monitor? Ammeter. Yes, Miss Gonzalez, can you please read?
Sir, apologies for not reading the PowerPoint.
Okay, so
Point I cannot see it po.
okay. Is it okay? So, Mr. Pencil, you're raising your hand. Can you please read what is in the monitor?
Ammeter. The ammeter is a measuring instrument used to find the strength of current flowing around an electrical circuit when connected in series with a part of the circuit being measured. Ammeter, galvanometer, or milliammeter measures current.
Okay, very good, Mr. Pencil. You may now mute your microphone. So, like voltmeter, ammeter also indicate a certain ampere or current of a certain load. But this device connected in series. Unlike the voltmeter, it is connected parallel to the power supply. This device is also very important in the field of electrical or electricity, especially if you are a technician of motor control. Because in motor controller, it is mandatory to install an ammeter for the safety of the motor and also for the quick indication of high current or overload defect of a certain load. So when we say load, it is not literally load na pwede pang text, pang tawag o kaya pang internet. Okay, I am referring for the device that we usually use at home such as bulb, electric fan, electric stove, etc. So is it clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Thank you for responding. So next, kindly please read what is in the monitor. Anyone? Mr. Tirao?
Types of instruments. Clamp on ammeter. A clamp meter is a cloth spin shaped instrument that can be clamped around a live wire in order to measure the current it's carrying. The typical multimeter has to be inserted in series with circuit under measurement, requiring that we cut first.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Tirao. So, okay, clamp ammeter has a similarity in ammeter. From the word itself, ammeter very easy, common sense, guys. So, clamp ammeter also measure the current of a certain load. This is usually our primary tool of a technician. The difference between ammeter and clamp ammeter is that ammeter are need to install series from the power supply. In short, it is a fixed device used only to measure the current of the certain load that is already connected to the ammeter. So unlike clamp ammeter, is a hand carry tool or instrument that can use in any devices needed to be troubleshoot. For the additional information about clamp ammeter tester has also different setting to use on other unit and electricity. Like for example, we can use clamp ammeter to measure the voltage resistance even though the temperature it depends upon the specification of a certain clamp ammeter. So are we clear with that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. Next, we have a digital multimeter tester. Can you please read? Anyone? The first stanza. Yes, Mr. Malikdem, can you please read what is in the monitor?
Ano yung digital multimeter? A digital multimeter is a test or tool used to measure two or more electrical values, principally voltage or volts, current or ampere, and resistance for ohms. It is a standard diagnostic tool for technicians in the electrical or electronic industries.
Okay,
Digital
thank you, Mr. Malikdam. You may now
sir.
mute your microphone. Okay, so digital multimeters combine the testing capabilities of a single task meters. The voltmeter for measuring volts, ammeter for amps, and ohmmeter for ohms. Often, they include several additional specialized features or advanced options technicians with specific needs. Therefore, can seek out a model targeted to meet their needs. If you have question, class, is it clear, class? Are you clear for that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you have question, class, don't hesitate to approach me. Just click the raise hand button and I will entertain you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Anyone? Are you still here,
Yes,
guys?
sir.
Okay, thank you for responding,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ferrer. So next, okay, kindly please read what is in the monitor. Okay, I will discuss it. Okay, this is a digital multimeter. Okay, a digital multimeter meter tester has four components. As you have seen on the monitor, we have a display. So where measurement readouts can be viewed. So next we have buttons for selecting various functions. The options vary by model. So and we have also a dial or rotary switch for selecting primary measurement values, volts, amps, or ohms. And for the last, we have input jacks where test leads are inserted. So digital multimeter tester is more accurate reading than analog. Why? Because when we use digital multimeter, it is automatically displayed the total amount of a voltage, resistance, and ampere of a certain load in a numerical view. Unlike in analog multimeter tester, we need to focus our eyes on where the needle pointed off. Therefore, by that kind of reading, there must be a 50% chance to you to make a mistake or to have an inaccurate reading of a certain electrical units. Is it clear, class? Okay, next. So,
Yes, sir.
okay, can you please read what is in the monitor? Yes, Mr. Princel.
Sir,
Can you please read what is in the monitor?
types of test instruments. Analog multitester. Analog multimeters are instruments that are used to measure electrical quantities such as voltage, current, resistance, frequency, and signal power. Basic functionality includes measurement of potential in volts, resistance in ohms, and current in amps. Analog multimeters or test meters are test instruments based around the use of a moving coil meter. This is an analog form of display that uses the deflection of an indicator needle to indicate the level of the measurement being made.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Princel. So, we have analog multimeter tester. Like lamp ammeter and digital multimeter tester, analog multimeter tester can measure voltage, current, resistance, and also frequency and signal power. So next, okay. So can you please read what is in the monitor?
Sir,
Yes, Mr. Malikdem.
analog multimeter operation. The operation of an analog multimeter is quite easy. With a knowledge of how to make voltage, current, and resistance measurement, it is only necessary to know how to use the multimeter. Tests, I, these test instruments are very easy to use. If the meter is new, then it will obviously be necessary to install any battery or batteries needed for the resistance measurement. No
Okay.
battery is needed for
Is
the
needed for
measurement
the
of current.
measurement for current and voltage. So, guys, let me show you this. Class, I am a technician for a long time, but this is also new for me. I currently don't know that is in measuring the voltage and the current is no need to install a battery in this kind of multimeter tester. I can't imagine that it is possible. Therefore, because of curiosity, I tried it on my home and I was amazed because it works. So that I am so grateful because I find new knowledge about using test instruments. So, by the way, share ko lang yun. So, next, okay, analog multimeter operation. Okay, can you please read? Okay, I will be the one. And when we say insert, okay, insert the probes into the correct connection. This is required because there may be a number for different connection that can be used. So when we say insert the probes into correct connection, we should consider the series and parallel connection in the certain loads that we are going to troubleshoot. Is it clear, class? Okay, next. Can you please read, Mr. Maligdam again? The last stanza?
Set switch to correct measurement type and range for the measurement to be made. When selecting the range, ensure that the maximum range is above the anticipated.
Okay, okay, very good. So you may now unmute your microphone. So, like for example, our supply has 220 to 240 voltage in any residential area. Therefore, in measuring the voltage, we need to select the tester into 350 to 440 volts. Indication, this will be the normal, or just I say it shall be the proper way to or safe the way to get the total voltage. Because according to Mr. Google, by selecting a range that is too high is it prevents the meter being overloaded and any possible damage to the movement of the meter itself. Is it clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so thank you for the response, Mr. Fair.
Yes po, sir.
Next, so we have electrical hazard of using test instruments. So kindly please read. Yes, Mr. Ferrer.
Electricity is a serious workplace hazard, exposing employees to electrical shock, electrocution, burns, fires, and explosions. Employees have been killed or injured in fires and explosions caused by electricity.
Oh, okay, very good, Mr. Ferrer. You may now with your microphone. So when we say arc flash is the phenomenon where a flashover of electric current leaves its intended path and travel through the air from one conductor to another or to ground. So what causes an arc flash? While human error or carelessness of a worker account for the majority of incidents, arc flash can be the result of a wide variety of causes. Static electricity, lost connections, or even a rodent in the vicinity that compromises the distance between energized components. Is it clear, class? Are we clear for
Yes,
this?
sir.
Yes. Okay, very good. So
Yes,
next,
sir.
can you please read what is in the monitor? We have electrical safety checklist. So number one, can you please read number one? Yes, Mr. Norma Santa.
Number one, use a meter that meets accepted safety standards for the environment in which it will be used.
Okay, very good. So we need to use original type of meter or a meter that already consulted by the expert. Or in short, dumaan siya sa quality control. Especially if we are troubleshooting a high current or high voltage transmission. Is it clear, class? Okay, number two. So I will be the one who read it to you. Use a meter with fuse current inputs and be sure to check the fuses before making current measurement. So, okay, one of the most important thing that we need to be sure is we need to use a multimeter with the proper ampere of fuse. This device will protect the multi-tester to be destroyed, and this will become our safety from being electrocuted. Is it clear, class? So next, use the
Yes, sir.
meter. Okay, thank you for responding, Ms. Gonzalez. Use the meter to check continuity of the test leads. So, okay, let us always be calibrate the test instruments before use for the accurate measurement. Okay, next, so use meter with resist input jack. So when we say resist, it means safety or relax. Therefore, we need to always check the input jack from free from dust or any object that may clog from input jacks. Is it clear, class? Okay, so next, select the proper function and range for your measurement. So this is very important in using any multimeter tester. We need to know also the proper setting of it. It depends upon the unit being tested during that troubleshooting operation. The consequence of improper setting of multimeter is inaccurate reading or wrong indication, and for the major problem, there is a possibility to destroy your multimeter tester. Okay, is it clear, class? Are we clear? Are we clear with that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you for responding, Mr. Malikdem. So next, can you please read Mr. Malikdem? Number one.
1.3 electrical safety checklist. First is be certain the meter in a good operating condition. Number two, follow
Okay,
all
okay.
equipment safety
Thank you,
procedures.
Mr. Malikdem. So for the number one, how to make sure that our multimeter is good condition? One of the key to make sure that your multimeter is in good condition is when it is inaccurate reading. Therefore, we always check the maintenance of the multimeter tester, and one of the major maintenance of this device is always check the battery condition. So number two, follow all equipment safety procedure. So we need to read the product manual of the multimeter tester for the proper use of it. Is it clear, class? So number three, can you please, okay, don't work alone. This is also very important. As a technician or electrician, we always need to have an assistant not only to minimize our job or make our work more easier, but also it is for the safety of you both because we don't know when the accident come to us. And if there was a human error that that have been done of either one of you, the other one will make a way to bring you away from the accident. Like for example, if one of the technician is being contact to the live wire and he is being electrocuted during the operation, the assistant will have an idea or instinct to cut off the flow of current immediately to avoid major injuries such as burn. Okay, next. So use a meter that has overload protection on the ohms function. So it is the same explanation on what a while ago. So we need to use a multimeter tester with fuse. So next for the last, when measuring current without a current clamp, turn the power off before connecting into the circuit. So this safety precaution will take us away from being electrocuted. So is it clear, class? Guys, are you still here?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, thank you for the response.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any question? Any clarification or violent reaction?
None so far, sir.
Okay, very good, Mr. Maligdam. So we will be having an activity entitled Think About Us. So can you please read the instruction, Mr. Maligdam?
So for the instruction, the teacher will show a different image and scenarios about the shooting and situation of a certain electric industrial motor and electrical wirings in a real life situation.
Real life situation. So next for the mechanics, can you please read, Mr. Romasanta?
Mechanics. The teacher asks a random student of what are the risks and hazards that they can notice about the image and scenario that is already presenting. The appointed student should explain on how they can prevent or evade a certain hazard and risk of a certain task.
Okay, so very good. So I will choose a certain random student. So Mr. Malikdem, what can you say about the picture? And okay, what hazard and risk do you observe in the picture? And how
Sir,
or
I saw an electrician, sir, looking for voltage of a circuit, sir.
okay, and what hazard and risk do you see in the picture? Hazard and
Uh,
risk.
she's not using or he's not using a
Oh,
insulated glove, sir,
okay,
before
very
doing
good,
a
very good.
task.
Okay, and what action are we going to do to prevent that kind of risk?
For me, sir, wear personal protective equipment for for her or for his own safety, sir.
Okay, excellent, Mr. Malikdem. You may now mute your microphone. Let's give him a virtual round of applause. So next, another student, Mr. Masanta, are you available?
Yes, sir.
Do you see the picture?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what hazard and risk do you observe in the picture?
Sir, yung saksakan daming nakasaksak, sir.
Okay, so and what action are we going to do to prevent that kind of risk?
Um, do not overload the outlet, sir.
Okay, very good, very well said. And because of that, I will give you also a plus factor to your participation. Is it is it clear? Is it good to you, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you,
Yes,
Mr.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Masanta. So next, so will be okay. So from the guide question, can you please answer? Why is it important to study the proper operation of a certain test instruments? Anyone of you class? Yes, Mr. Ferrer, do you want to answer?
Yes, sir, it is important to study the proper operation of a certain test instrument in order for us to know their proper uses in case we are in the working place area.
Okay, very good, Mr. Ferrer. Or because improper use of electrical test instrument can result in shock or electrocution, as well as creating an arc flash incidents. Okay, next. Number two, kindly please read and answer, Mr. Malikdem.
So why do we need to identify the procedures about the proper use of test instrument with knowing the hazard and risk of a certain task?
Okay.
Sir, we need to identify the procedure about the proper use of a test instrument with knowing the hazard and risk of a certain task because when doing electrical tests, sir, we must put safety first for a good one or neat output, sir.
Okay, very good. So, class, we should always use the right test equipment to perform a successful test as a wrong, because as a wrong testing equipment may lead to damage of the testing facility. Okay, so next question. For the last question, can you please read and answer, Mr. Masanta?
So, number 3. Why is it important to always think about safety first before testing, troubleshooting, or doing any electrical class? So, it is important to always think about our safety first because life is more important than
Okay, very
than
good.
anything.
Okay, very good, Mr. Lumasanta. Or hazards such as arc flash and shock can result in death of if you are exposed to them. So, like what Mr. Lumasanta said, life is better than anyone or anything. So next. Okay. Okay, very good, everyone. It seems like you are learn a lot from our topic today. So because of that, we will be having a quiz. And okay, your quiz is already uploaded to the MS Teams and it's open 3:40 p.m. and close exactly 3:55 p.m. Is it clear, class? Okay, get class. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, get ready. You have 1 minute left before you start the quiz. Okay, guys, so start the quiz.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who is laughing? I hear a man that is laughing. Don't. Okay, so 15 minutes is over. Are you done your quiz, class? Are you done taking your quiz?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So for your assignment, search for the following terminologies and unite it in a long coupon band. Do your assignment in document with the font size of 12 and font style of Calibri body. Your assignment will be passed on the G drive that is already provided and sent to our group chat, grade 8 Diamond, and until 12 midnight. Is it clear, class?
Yes, sir.
Okay, are you done copying your assignment?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good. So that's all for now. That's end my slides. Do you have any question, clarification, or
None,
violent
sir.
reaction? Okay, very good. If it is none, let's call it a day and have a blessed day. Goodbye, class.
Goodbye.
Goodbye,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Okay, thank you,
Bye,
Bye,
everyone.
sir.
sir.
Thank you for your listening.